Friends, in this video we are going to observe how to divide the nucleus into pieces with the help of a Prechopper. Let us observe this real speed, totally unedited surgery. This is the main incision with a 2.8 mm steel keratome. And now two side ports are being made. This is the side port on the right side of the main incision, and this is another side port on the left side of the main incision. The side ports are about 2.5 to 3 clock hours away from the main incision. And now, since the red glow is not good in this case, air bubble is injected to fill up the anterior chamber. Beneath this air bubble, trypan blue 0.06% dye is applied over the anterior capsule. If the dye is applied underneath an air bubble, the staining is quick. The dye is washed out, and now 2% hydroxypropyl methyl cellulose is being used to fill up the anterior chamber. After filling up the anterior chamber, capsulorhexis is done. In this case, it is being done with the help of this utreta forceps. The anticapsule is torn with the tip of the utreta. The capsular tag is raised. This capsular tag is guided anti-clockwise all around to get an adequate sized rhexis. Size of this rhexis is about 5.5 mm. And now hydrodissection is being done with 27 gauge cannula and PSS. Hydrodelineation is also done. In this case, we can see there is a beautiful golden ring. The nucleus is rotated, and now let us see how we can divide this nucleus with the help of this Prechopper. In the left hand there is a ball-tipped sustainer. It hooks the opposite equator, supports the nucleus. The Prechopper is embedded, and two instruments are brought to each other, and we get a complete division of the nucleus. The heminucleus is divided in the same way. The other heminucleus is also divided in the same way. So we have got 4 pieces. If we had to do the traditional divide and conquer technique, we had to make a trench, go to a certain depth, and then use 2 instruments to separate to get the pieces, 4 quadrants. But in this case it is much safer since we are not using any vacuum. The Prechopper goes only up to 70 to 80% depth of the nucleus. And now just we have to go in and emulsify each nuclear piece. The ultrasonic energy is 60%, flow rate is 40, and vacuum is 400 mm of mercury. The machine is Oakley Cataracts 3. The microscope is Topcon's OMS 800. So the pieces have been emulsified. Now I go to FECO 3 mode to remove the epinucleus. At this time vacuum is 250 and flow rate is 25. And now I have to remove the cortex. By the time the assistant is ready with the bimanual irrigation aspiration, I take the Simcoe cannula, which is attached to a separate bottle, and remove a portion of the cortex, particularly the south sideport cortex, so that I don't have to change hands when I use the bimanual irrigation aspiration. And now the bimanual irrigation aspiration is ready. Irrigation goes through the right side port, aspiration through the left, and I remove the rest of the cortex very easily. With bimanual irrigation aspiration, it is very easy to remove the south main incision cortex. And now this is polishing of the posterior capsule by the irrigating cannula only. Just using the irrigating jet of fluid to dislodge the cells on the posterior capsule. I learned this technique from Dr. Sri Ganesh of Netrodhama Super Speciality Eye Hospital, Bangalore. And now since I am going to use a B cartridge, I enlarge the main wound a bit. And now this is hydro implantation of a single piece monofocal intraocular lens. The lens goes into the capsular bag. Now there are some visco in the lumen of the cartridge that is being removed by irrigating BSS into the anterior chamber. The capsular bag is also irrigated. And now this is a bit of moxifloxacin. The side ports are closed by hydrating corneal stroma on either side of the paracentesis wounds. And now a final lavage of the anterior chamber. At this time I use a 23G Simcoe and I use the aspirating port for irrigation so that I can remove the visco that sticks to the corneal endothelium. The anterior chamber is formed very nicely, integrity of all the wounds are checked, few drops of moxie is applied and the case is concluded. Thank you very much for your attention. Hope this video will inspire you to try this Prechopper. I have no financial interest, but if you have this instrument in your armamentarium, you will find it very useful in some soft cataracts. This Prechopper has been designed by Dr. Sohel Irfan Muhammad Khan of Nanded, Maharashtra, India.